No matter how much knowledge you possess, how clever your mind is, or how many truths you've uncovered, being smart can sometimes hinder you more than help you and become a significant drawback in your life. Have you thought about why the most intelligent people often find themselves lonely? What leads those who genuinely comprehend how things work to end up by themselves? This isn't by chance, and if you happen to be someone who feels that every discussion becomes a struggle where you have to tread carefully to prevent awkwardness, then pay attention. Arthur Schopenhauer made it clear that being intelligent doesn't always work in your favor, especially among people. What seems clear and obvious to you may feel threatening to them. What appears to be common sense to you can feel to others like a blow to their pride, as unfiltered truth often humiliates, and most people aren't searching for truth. They want to feel good instead. Reflect on this. How many times have you pointed out the obvious only to be met with scorn? How often have you corrected someone, and instead of thanks, you faced resentment? Showing intelligence without restraint often stirs envy, brings rejection, and causes discomfort. Here lies the fallacy of those who think that merely having knowledge is sufficient. It's not enough to be aware. You need to navigate your intelligence carefully, treating it as a discrete tool rather than a banner you flaunt. Schopenhauer referred to it as the art of pretending to be simple-minded, not due to a lack of intelligence, but because in certain situations, acting less knowledgeable can be the smartest move. It is about leveraging your intellect wisely, rather than renouncing it. If you desire respect, avoid bragging. If you want people to listen, don't correct them. If you aim to influence, don't intimidate others with your acuity. Let others think they've discovered the truth themselves. Look around. The individuals who rise in society aren't necessarily the smartest. Instead, they're often those who navigate the intricate dynamics of human relations well, adept at subtlety, and recognize that truth can be a double-edged sword, and the jealousy of the mediocre can be a formidable obstacle. This doesn't imply that you should diminish yourself or settle for mediocrity. In fact, genuine intelligence doesn't waste itself in futile debates or in proving your correctness. Real intelligence understands the right moment to speak and when to remain silent, knowing when to showcase its strength and when to adopt a simpler approach. Picture this scenario. You're in a meeting and someone makes an incredibly foolish remark. Your instinct might be to correct them, to highlight their error, to reveal their lack of understanding, but reconsider this. What's the benefit? What do you gain from doing that? Will it alter their perspective? You will only stir up their anger. Nobody wishes to feel inferior. No one desires to acknowledge that they've been mistaken all this time. Therefore, smile, give a slight nod, and allow the discussion to proceed, not out of cowardice but from wisdom, recognizing that not every error requires correction. And sometimes, the best action is to let the other person dwell in their ignorance. Schopenhauer expressed this brutally, stating that fools enjoy an edge over the wise, not because they are superior, but because the world caters to them. Society champions mediocrity because it's safe. It poses no danger. The average band together support one another and elevate within their ranks, while a truly exceptional individual, if unable to navigate his intellect wisely, ends up isolated, misunderstood. This is where the real strategy lies. You need not align with mediocrity, but neither do you have to confront it directly. There exists a middle path, a perfect equilibrium, where you feign ignorance when needed, play to others' expectations, and make them think you are less capable than you truly are, only to astonish them unexpectedly. History is rich with illustrations of this. Great tacticians never displayed all their strength at once. The top players kept their cards close to their chest. Napoleon, Da Vinci, Tesla, they all grasped the power of discretion, intelligent manipulation, and the art of appearing less capable to achieve greater ends. The harsh reality is that if the world views you as overly brilliant, it will attempt to suppress you. If it perceives you as excessively wise, it will try to belittle you. If you reveal all your intelligence openly, people will turn against you, not out of malice, but because the human ego struggles with the dominance of others. However, if you navigate with shrewdness, learn to moderate your intellect, and present yourself as approachable without igniting envy, then you gain the upper hand. No one will anticipate your arrival. No one will regard you as a threat. And when the moment is right, when it truly counts, you will be prepared to unleash all your potential without opposition. This is not an act of cowardice. This is a strategy. Are you curious about how to endure in a world where mediocrity prevails? Master the art of silence. Learn to camouflage yourself. Learn to operate in the background when needed, and only shine when it truly matters. Unrestrained intelligence can be a burden, but intelligence wielded with accuracy is the most formidable asset you can have. So, when you encounter an uninformed crowd next time, when you find yourself amidst a conversation with those unready for the truth, remember this: you don't have to prove a single thing. You don't need to win every debate. You are not obliged to rectify every misstep. Only fools strive to display their superiority at all times. The astute manipulate time, perceptions, and patience. Acting as if you are less competent than you truly are is not a sign of intelligence betrayal. In fact, it's the smartest tactic you can employ. Now let's explore the next aspect of this approach. Feigning ignorance is merely the initial step, a basic method to glide through the ordinary without drawing attention. However, to excel in this game, you must grasp another concept: the advantage of strategic invisibility. Consider this. Who are the most influential individuals throughout history? Those who loudly proclaim their achievements, or those who function quietly behind the scenes? The answer is clear. People tend to fear what they cannot comprehend or see. If you remain unnoticed, you evade adversaries, jealousy, and obstruction. The most shrewd figures from history have perfected this technique. They seek no approval, do not crave validation, and aren't on a quest for constant acknowledgement. They are the ones who operate without being seen, crafting their strategies without revealing each step, while others vie for the spotlight. They make moves quietly, and when others finally recognize their influence, it may be too late. The stage is set in their favor. This principle is so robust that it is evident in nature as well. The most successful hunters are not the loudest, but those who pursue silently. The snake doesn't announce its poison. The tiger doesn't roar before it strikes. The sniper doesn't reveal their position prior to taking a shot. In the wilderness, on the battlefield, and in life, subtlety is strength. What's particularly intriguing is that the lower your visibility, the greater your freedom becomes. People are unlikely to engage with someone they don't see as a danger. If you come across as harmless, as if you're not in competition, people will leave you be. While they are caught up in vying for acknowledgement, you can set up for the actual opportunity. The blunders of others are clear for all to see, but your own remain hidden. Stay in the background. If you make a mistake, no one is likely to notice. But if you achieve success, it will hit them unexpectedly. This is the nature of the game. However, here's a crucial caution. Invisibility doesn't equate to irrelevance. It's not about vanishing entirely, but about knowing when to surface. It's essential to be in the right place at the right moment and not to spread yourself too thin, wasting energy on meaningless efforts. Observe true leaders and authentic thinkers. They don't dominate every discussion. They aren't engaged in constant disputes. They are not struggling for recognition. They exist in their own space, constructing, watching, and waiting for the right time to act. Many individuals squander their energy attempting to demonstrate their value. They seek acknowledgement, they yearn for approval, they desire to be regarded as clever and significant. However, in this pursuit, they reveal too much about themselves. Their errors are evident, their strategies are foreseeable, and their actions can be anticipated. Do you genuinely wish to master this approach? Learn to navigate time skillfully. Don't hurry. Don't reveal all your capabilities in the initial encounter. Observe, assess, understand those around you, identify their vulnerabilities, uncover their motives, and when you do decide to act, ensure it is executed with such precision that it cannot be thwarted. Patience is the most undervalued tool in today's world. Many people lack patience. They desire rapid outcomes. They crave immediate satisfaction, and that's where they falter. A patient individual and a careful planner who understands the value of waiting will always have an edge over those who act impulsively. Napoleon famously stated that one should never interrupt an adversary when they are making an error. This principle also holds true in life. People consistently reveal their vulnerabilities, fears, and limits. All you need to do is wait and observe if you truly desire influence. Cease worrying about being noticed. Stop seeking affirmation, refrain from showcasing your knowledge, and begin to think like a true strategist. While others tire themselves out trying to prove their value, you will be one step ahead, unseen, untouchable, and relentless. This brings us to the most intriguing part of the game: managing perception. Feigning ignorance is not merely a defensive move. It serves as a powerful tool, and remaining unnoticed is not just about finding shelter. It's a strategy to manipulate reality to your advantage. Let me clarify this in simple terms. The world does not respond based on who you are, but rather on its perception of you. Your skills, intelligence, or brilliance hold no significance if others view you as a threat. They will push you away. If they consider you a mere pawn, they will use you. If they see you as a resource, they will take advantage of you. And if they regard you as ordinary, they will overlook you. However, the secret is that you can control how you are perceived. You don't need to be seen as an extraordinary genius by everyone. You don't have to be the most powerful, intelligent, or skilled. You only need to appear as required by the situation. People are under the misconception that human interactions are genuine, believing that when someone engages with you, they do so without ulterior motives. But that is a naive misconception. Every interaction involves a transfer of power. Always. Even if it seems like a trivial chat or a casual conversation, there is a dynamic at work. Who holds power? Who is steering the discussion? Who is directing influence? The one who masters this perception controls the reality. Look at the way the true players in this world function. They are not the most boisterous or the ones chasing the spotlight. They are those who steer the narrative without attracting attention. They allow others to think they are in control while they manipulate from the background. The secret lies in subtlety. Have you noticed how some individuals can get others to act in their favor without making it obvious? How certain people can impose ideas without any apparent force? It's a talent. Here is the distinction between those who excel in this game and those who fall prey to it. The clever ones assume they prevail when they demonstrate their correctness. The wise ones succeed when they lead others to believe they reach the conclusion independently. This is where the tactic of acting like a fool transforms into something significantly more perilous. It transcends merely steering clear of disputes. It involves subtly influencing others so that they think the idea originated with them, that the choice was theirs, and that they have always held the reins. If you believe that being knowledgeable is just about having more information than others, you are only beginning to grasp the concept. Genuine intelligence is the capacity to shape the world, to enact your will without others being aware of it. To achieve this, you must familiarize yourself with the technique of indirect suggestion. Consider this. Would you rather be right during a discussion, or would you prefer to have the person in front of you act exactly as you wanted without their awareness? This illustrates the distinction between arrogance and skill. Arrogance seeks approval, while skill only aims for outcomes. However, the most intriguing aspect arises here. Individuals seldom question ideas when they feel those ideas are their own. When you attempt to persuade someone directly, their instinct to defend themselves activates and their ego fights back. They feel threatened. Conversely, if you steer the dialogue discreetly, providing subtle hints and creating an illusion of control, they will reach the conclusion you desired. When this happens, their resistance fades away. Mastering the art of indirect suggestion becomes your most potent asset, and when you merge it with strategic invisibility and an innocent demeanor, you become invulnerable. The truth that few are willing to acknowledge is that genuine influence is often unrecognized. If a person becomes aware that you're influencing them, you have failed. Authentic manipulation goes unnoticed. It feels organic. It seems like a natural progression of that person's thoughts. When this occurs, there is no pushback. Look at the top strategists. They rarely engage in debates. They do not insist on being in the spotlight when it isn't essential. They understand that the most effective way to exert control is to lead others to believe they are making the choices, and you can accomplish this as well. Learn to instill doubts without presenting answers. Learn to pose questions rather than issuing commands. Learn to offer choices where every answer benefits you. And most importantly, learn to step back precisely when the other person believes they have taken charge. When someone feels victorious, their ego softens, their defenses lower, and this is when you truly influence the outcome. This represents the pinnacle of social intelligence. It differentiates those who have command over the world from those who simply watch it unfold, because unmanaged intelligence breeds adversaries, whereas well-directed intelligence builds empires. So tell me, do you prefer to be the person who frantically attempts to demonstrate they are the cleverest in the room, or to be the one orchestrating everything without others realizing? Think carefully, as it's not the most intelligent individuals who conquer the world. Victory goes to those who understand how to utilize their intellect appropriately at the right moments. We are approaching a conclusion here. Before we finalize this discussion, I want you to grasp something essential, something that many will never realize. Yet if you truly embrace it, it will transform how you navigate through life. Everything we've discussed so far, playing the fool, being strategically invisible, managing perceptions, and using patience as a weapon, serves a larger purpose. It transcends merely sidestepping difficulties or being the cleverest in social interactions. It delves into something much more profound. It's about being untouchable, not in the sense of physical distance, but in a way that nothing or no one can impact you or impede your progress. Reflect on the most powerful figures throughout history. They didn't seek approval. They didn't dwell on others' opinions. They didn't respond to every challenge thrown their way. They weren't confined by the views of the public. They were untouchable. The painful truth to acknowledge is that if the world can influence you, it can dominate you. Reacting to provocations makes you a puppet. If you pursue validation, you become easy to manipulate. When you feel the need to continuously assert your identity, you have already failed. In contrast, if you can navigate your way through life without drawing attention, if you influence others discreetly, and if you comprehend that true strength lies in rising above immediate responses, then nothing can reach you. When you arrive at this realization, when you understand that the most effective move is one that needs no explanation, when you come to see that you need not engage in every conflict or justify yourself to anyone, you turn into a formidable presence. The world is filled with reactive individuals, those who act thoughtlessly, speak without consideration, and fall prey to every trap set before them. But you are different. You recognize that authentic power resides in strategy, patience, and subtlety. You understand that you don't require constant acknowledgement. Those who truly count do not seek visibility. Instead, they let their actions convey their worth. And now we reach the most intriguing aspect of all of this. If you have reached this point, it indicates that a part of you has always been aware of this. It's simply articulating what you felt deep down, but never clearly expressed. Now you have two paths to choose from. You can revert to old behaviors like everyone else, reacting to every slight, draining your energy on unproductive debates, or seeking approval like many do. Alternatively, you can begin to act differently. You can implement what you've just learned, be more observant, speak less, strategize patiently, and manage perceptions. Decide when to engage and when to withdraw. Transform into someone who is enigmatic and unpredictable to others. The decision is yours to make, but I want to leave you with this thought. The most formidable players are those who realize that the greatest move has already secured victory before it is even acknowledged. If you grasped everything we covered in this video, I invite you to comment. Your silence gives me an edge in the comments, letting me know you're among those genuinely prepared to change their approach. If this has been beneficial to you, consider subscribing, as what's ahead on this channel is for individuals who aspire to be more than just another face in the crowd, but who are eager to operate like the true contenders in this world. Look forward to our next video, and remember that those who make the loudest noise are often blindsided by those who progress quietly.